Kaneda Hajime, a 33-year-old regular salesman who loved playing games and watching anime, was on a break when someone called out to him. It was a girl he knew. "Hey, how was that game I recommended the other day?" she asked cheerfully. A few days ago, she had insisted, "You're going to love this game, so please play it." After some back and forth, "If you insist that much, okay," he confirmed. "That game was the Otome game, right?" Energetic as ever, he replied. "It was super fun. It was way deeper than I expected, and I got completely hooked. Especially the character training in free mode. It was exactly my style." She beamed. "I'm so glad you liked it. But if you know this much detail, don't tell me you already—" "Yep," he interrupted, grinning. "I completed the entire game." The dark circles under his eyes were proof of his dedication. "That was insane, as expected of me," he added with a laugh. Kaneda's life was simple. His company paid overtime, and he could take paid leave. Nothing much changed day to day, but he was satisfied. However, as a salesman, he kept getting dragged into drinking parties with clients. On top of that, he'd stayed up all night gaming without realizing it. His body had reached its limit. As his consciousness faded, the last thing he remembered was his mother passing away a few years ago. Then, as his awareness slipped away completely, he opened his eyes to unfamiliar surroundings, an unfamiliar ceiling. Confused, he couldn't understand where he was. He vaguely recalled collapsing while waiting at a traffic light, but after that, nothing. As he pulled himself out of the blankets, he noticed something strange. His hands and feet had suddenly become tiny. "Wait a second," he muttered, thrown into a dilemma. He stumbled to a mirror and froze in shock. Staring back at him was a child's face. "Who is this?" he screamed, and a maid burst into the room. "Rid-sama, you've woken up. I must inform everyone immediately," she exclaimed before rushing off. Kaneda, or whoever he was now, couldn't process it. A maid? Rid-sama? What was happening? Soon, he found himself standing in front of a crowd of people. "My body seems fine," he thought, "but who are these people?" Someone stepped forward. "Rid-sama, I'm so glad you're safe," they said. An older man, dressed as a butler, added, "You suddenly collapsed in 29 the garden, so we were all worried about you." "Who are you?" Kaneda asked, still disoriented. The man bowed slightly. "I am Garn, the butler." Trying to play along, Kaneda replied, "Garn, everyone, I apologize for making you worried. I am sorry." The group exchanged surprised glances, and he panicked internally. "Did I say something weird?" Garn stepped in to smooth things over. "These are your apprentices and staff. Your concern is appreciated, but such words are far too humble for us. Please, as always, call me by my name." Kaneda nodded. "Thank you, Garn. If I need anything, I'll use the bell, right?" Garn smiled. "Yes, precisely." But Kaneda couldn't make sense of it all. It was too much to handle at once. His head throbbed as someone else's memories flooded in. He should be a 33-year-old man working at a trading company, but now everything was messed up. "That's right," he realized. "Rid is my name. I am Ridbaldia." That hit him. In the Otome game he just finished, Tokurila, there was a minor villain named Ridbaldia, a background follower of the villainous noble lady who interfered with the main character. Could it be? I've been reincarnated as him in this Otome game, and I'm just a minor villain character? First, I need to figure out my current situation. He rang the bell, and a maid appeared. "Excuse me, is there something you want?" she asked. "Don't be so dense," he replied, flustered. "I just want to check something, just in case. I should be 7 years old this time, right?" The maid tilted her head. "No, you just turned 6 last month." "I messed up," he thought, reeling. "Right, that's true." He pressed on. "Can you tell me about this country and my family?" The maid nodded. "This land is the Magnolia Empire, with territories bordering beastmen, dark elves, and other neighboring nations. You're part of the Baldia family, a Marque household. The nobility is divided into neutral, conservative, and reformist factions. The Baldia family is naturally neutral. You live with your father, Rainer Baldia, your mother, Nurala, and your younger sister, Melody. Your father occasionally works in the imperial capital's administration. There's no doubt," he concluded silently. "This is definitely the world of Tokurila." Out loud, he asked, Are you sure you're feeling well after all these questions? The maid hesitated. Of course, he assured her. Sorry for worrying you, and thank you. She seemed nervous, and he noticed. She's scared of me, he thought, piecing together fragments of Rid's past behavior. I see. My past self must have been harsh. It must have been scary. It's okay. I'm sorry for how I treated you before. That's not it, she protested softly. Can you tell me your name? He asked. She smiled faintly. I'm Danya. Dania, that's a lovely name, he said warmly. I'm looking forward to getting along with you. She blushed, clearly taken aback by his kindness. Excuse me, she murmured. It's my pleasure to serve you. The next morning, Dania woke him with a gentle, good morning, her smile brightening the room. He jolted awake, flustered. What's wrong? She asked. No, it's nothing, he stammered, thinking, I can't tell her I was mesmerized by her maid outfit. She offered, shall I help you get dressed? But with the mind of a 33-year-old, he quickly declined. No, it's fine. I can do it myself. Later, at dinner, he sat alone at a massive table. Such a big dinner table, and I'm the only one here, he remarked to Garn. Where is everyone else? Rainer-sama is at the imperial capital, Garn explained. Your mother isn't feeling well and is resting in her room. Maybe I should check on her later, Kaneda thought. What about Melody? Garn smiled faintly. I think she'd be happy if you did. In Tokarila, Nurala Baldia wasn't even mentioned by name. I wonder what kind of person she is, he mused. Dania led him to her door. You don't look well, she observed. Shall we come back another day? No, don't worry about it, he replied. I just feel like I haven't seen her in a long time. A strange sensation gripped him, like his body and mind were rejecting this place. Ever since Nurala-sama fell ill, Dania said softly, you've been avoiding visiting her. You haven't come at all recently. Did something happen between you? He knocked and called out, May I come in? A beautiful woman greeted him from her bed. I'm so happy you came, she said weakly. Overwhelmed by her beauty and a flood of emotions he couldn't place, he asked, Are you well, mother? He approached, trying to comfort her as she coughed. She smiled faintly. I heard from Garn that you collapsed in the garden. Are you really feeling all right? Of course, yes, I'm fine, he assured her. I'm just glad I got to see you, mother. That's a relief, she replied. I'm sorry for making you all worried. It's okay, he said warmly. I'm the son of my mother and father, the Marque. They shared a soft laugh before he took his leave. I'll come again, he promised. Later, he approached Garn. I want to know about Nurala-sama's illness. Do you know something about it? The butler hesitated. I cannot tell you. I won't give up until I know, Kaneda pressed. Reluctantly, Garn relented. Please keep it a secret. Your mother's illness is mana deficiency syndrome. Kaneda's heart sank. In this world, everyone had a life energy called mana. Normally, it regenerated over time, but with this incurable disease, the ability to recover diminished drastically. Victims gradually weakened and inevitably died, a death sentence. He recognized it from the game, a status condition where HP slowly drained to zero. I wasn't supposed to know this, he thought grimly. As he pored over books in a library, searching for answers, a small figure peeked in. His sister, Melody. What are you doing, Nichan? She asked timidly. Just looking something up, he replied. Want to do it together? She hesitated. You won't get mad if I stay with you? He smiled gently, a changed person now. I won't get mad. Come here. Shall I read you a picture book or something? Her face lit up. Really? She bounded over as he added, I won't lie. But first, go close the door. They bonded as he read. So, when the princess asked the owl, he said this and that. Happiness filled the air. In Rid's returning memories, Kaneda saw how much the boy had adored Melody when she was born. But after their mother fell ill, his childish heart had hardened, pushing her away with anger and anxiety. The emotional distance grew until they couldn't even share meals. I'm sorry, he whispered to her. What for? She asked sleepily. You shouldn't sleep in the garden. He chuckled. So you know too? Don't copy me, okay? I wouldn't do that, she huffed. I'm super smart. That's right. Melody is smart, he agreed. Anyway, this and that happened. Call me Mel, she interrupted. Mother always called me Mel, so you should too, but only because you're special. Thank you, Mel, he said as she drifted off to sleep. He rang the bell, and Dania arrived to carry her to bed. Were you with Melody-sama? Garn asked, pleased. Yes, I read her a picture book until she fell asleep, Kaneda replied. That's wonderful, Garn said. Please continue to take care of your sister. Of course, he agreed. She's my little sister. Garn's expression softened. Ever since you collapsed in the garden, it seems like you're a different person. Kaneda froze. Doi, I don't think I've changed that much. I spoke out of turn, Garn apologized. No, it's fine. Kaneda reassured him, though inside he panicked. That surprised me. Compared to how I used to be, I guess it's not surprising they'd think that. After reconciling with his mother and Melody, he began to understand his purpose. As a villain's accomplice in this world, Ridbaldia faced condemnation, exile, or execution. To avoid that fate, he needed to befriend the game's protagonists and steer clear of their doomed paths. He scribbled his plan, but it felt impossible. The main character appeared in the Imperial capital or distant lands, far from the Baldi territory. With no easy way to interact, he'd have to rely on his own strength, hone his skills, earn money, and above all, save his mother. Watching her weaken, he couldn't tell if the pain he felt was his or Rit's. This child must have suffered so much, he thought. A kind-hearted kid broken by his mother's illness. If I can restore this family's bonds, I might avoid condemnation and live honestly. In his original life, he'd lost his own mother and carried that regret. I won't let that happen again. Not in this lifetime. I'll start gathering information on treatments and vow never to let my mother or anyone in this family suffer. As Ridbaldia sat reading a book, he smirked. I can memorize every book I read, word for word. That's incredibly high spec. He'd been spending his time in the library, learning all sorts of interesting things. Wait a second, he thought, flipping through a page. I've seen this one before. Among the plants, gems, and ores of this world, many share the same names and appearances as those in my previous life. In that case, I might be able to raise money and line my pockets. Just then, his butler interrupted. Rid-sama, Rainer-sama has arrived. That means father, Rid realized. It will be the first time meeting the Marque, his father, since his reincarnation. He instructed Garn, please tell father there's something I'd like to discuss with him. Nervously, he added to himself, I just hope this goes well. His father welcomed him warmly. As Garn excused himself and left, Rid stood speechless for a moment. Rainer broke the silence. I heard you collapsed in the garden. How are you feeling? I'm all right now, Rid replied. I'm feeling good. Rainer nodded. What is it you wanted to talk about with me? Rid took a deep breath. I have two things I'd like to ask of you. First, would you allow me to learn magic and martial arts along with pursuing my studies? He remembered that in Tokarila, even though he was a minor background character, Ridbaldia had potential. In the game's free mode, he could transform depending on how he was trained, becoming incredibly useful since he could wield all magic attributes. However, his stats started at rock bottom, requiring significant effort to build up. I doubt many players ever used me, Rid mused. But I was really into those kinds of challenges and maxed myself out in my past life. That could be an advantage. Rainer considered it. I'd actually been thinking about that for a while, but postponed it due to your mental state. Are you sure you'll be able to handle it? When I saw Mother in her weakened state, I faltered for a moment, Rid admitted. But I realized moping wouldn't change anything. I want to become strong so I can help her. Rainer smiled faintly. Very well. I'll arrange for your tutors. Now, what's the second thing you request? I'd like some funds to use at my discretion, Rid said. Rainer tensed. What for? I have many ideas for potential products, Rid explained. I'd like to make them a reality. Rainer raised an eyebrow. You want me to sponsor whatever you're planning without a proper proposal? Would you be willing to invest in me? Rid countered. This is a gamble, father. I'd normally prepare detailed proposals, but that would take time. Sometimes showing enthusiasm can move people. That's what I'm betting on. Rainer sighed reluctantly. Okay, I'll prepare some fun for you. It's a lot of money for a kid, but you have something in mind, right? Thank you very much, Rid said, relieved. Since I'm here, I'd like to ask one more favor, father. Could we start eating together? Rainer blinked, surprised. I think it's a shame that neither Mel nor I speak with you much, Rid added. You call Melody Mel now? Raynor noted. Yes, Rid replied with a nod. I see, Raynor said thoughtfully. Later, at a special family dinner, Raynor turned to his daughter. Melody, may I call you Mel too? She froze, startled, and stammered. You cannot. Only mother and my brother can call me that. Raynor looked a bit disappointed, but Rid jumped in. Father, I'd like to inspect the territory today. Very well, Raynor agreed. He instructed Garn to prepare a carriage whenever Rid was ready. It seemed Rid would even get a night escort. 2 guards, Dania and Reuben, accompanied him that day. The Baldia territory, known as a borderland, lay far from the capital. With vast land available for cultivation, crop growth, and trading flourished, thanks to his father's idea to grow olives. Though called a borderland, it was far from desolate. We'll arrive shortly, the female knight, Dania, announced. Rid nodded, thinking, I didn't come here just for sightseeing. There's something I need to do in the city. This was the largest city in the territory, and with the money from his father, he had a plan. As they entered the bustling streets, both knights cautioned, stay close to us. There are a lot of people here, after all. Of course, Rid agreed. Is this really the place you want to go? The lady knight asked as he led them toward the Christie Company. He was certain. A cat-eared girl greeted them inside. What are you looking for today, gentlemen? Rid, momentarily thrown by her appearance, recovered quickly. I've sent a few letters to the owner. The cat girl perked up. Oh, you're the customer my master mentioned. I'll check with her right away. Soon, Christie Saffron, the owner of the company, appeared. I'm the leader of the Christie Company, she introduced herself. An elf, the only one in Baldia territory, and a shrewd businesswoman, just as Garn had described. Let me show you to the guest room. Pleased to meet you, Rid said. But are you sure about leaving my 2 guards outside? She smirked. Likewise. And yes, I'm sure. You want to keep this conversation secret, don't you? Exactly, he replied. I'd like to cut right to the chase. Christie-san, do you know of skin lotion or hair conditioner? A few days earlier, while flipping through a book, he'd noticed something. Oh, there's a lot of aloe in this world too, he'd muttered. I wonder if they have aloe skin lotion or stuff like that. Dania, overhearing, had asked, Skin lotion? You don't use it after washing your face? He'd replied. It's skincare that keeps your face moisturized. She looked puzzled. What do you mean by skincare? I thought it was common knowledge, he'd thought, but apparently not in this world. To her, he'd said, I just thought it'd be useful if something like that existed. Incidentally, aloe grows around our mansion. You didn't know it's good for wounds. That creepy plant? She'd scoffed. Aloe, olive fields, skincare, his eyes had gleamed. New luxury products for trade with nobles. That's it. He'd immediately started on prototypes, crafting skin lotion from the aloe around the mansion. Then he'd realized he'd never heard of hair treatment products like conditioner either. That led him here. Christie tilted her head. Skin lotion? Hair conditioner? Have you heard of any similar products or ideas? No, never, she replied. And if they existed, I'd have heard of them for certain. Just as I thought, he said, pulling out 2 small bottles. I can compete with these products, but without them, they're just ideas. I actually brought them with me. You already made prototypes? She asked, astonished. He handed her the skin lotion and conditioner. She opened the lotion bottle, applied it, and her skin gleamed. Her eyes sparkled. This is really good, she exclaimed. I've been worried about dry skin for a while now. I never dreamed such a product would exist. I'm glad you like it, Rid said, beaming. Please, just call me Chris, she insisted. You must commercialize this. Of course, he agreed. They struck a deal. I'll leave the conditioner with you. Do try it out. After discussing the products, they moved on to future plans. I have many more ideas for making money, he told her. I'd also like you to search for 2 ingredients used in medicines for mana deficiency, root grass and moonlight grass. Looking pleased, he added, this went well. Chris, meanwhile, thought to herself, what a terrifying person. When that letter arrived, I had doubted my eyes. Who'd believe a child had a business proposal? I built this company far from my family's saffron company, thinking I'd just be babysitting the Marquis's son. But he's the real deal. Her servant, Amelia, grinned. Looks like you're having fun, Chris Sama. We'll be busy for quite a while now. Chris replied with a laugh. Outside, his guards asked, how did it go? Did it go well? Yeah, Rid said. She happily accepted my proposal. It looks like I'll be able to work on a lot of things with the Christie Company going forward. That's good to hear, they said, relieved. I have no time to celebrate, he thought. If I don't act, a scary future of banishment or execution awaits me. I need to earn enough money to live on my own. Just then, he noticed a small figure in a robe, looking frightened. He approached her. Are you all right? The girl flinched, startled. Sorry for calling out so suddenly, he said gently. I'm from the Marque family. I was wondering if you need help. She hesitated before whispering, I got separated from the person I came with. Do you remember where you got separated? He asked. I'll guide you. A woman rushed over. There you are. It seemed they'd found her family. Thank you so much, the woman said, bowing. You've been a huge help. It was nothing, Rid replied. Please raise your head. It's only natural to help a girl in trouble, after all. The group smiled, and the girl blushed faintly. As they parted ways, the elf woman said, Princess, I'm so glad you're safe. I was so worried. The girl, still blushing, murmured, If only I'd asked for that boy's name. Her companion teased, I think you might be in love. The embarrassed girl couldn't respond, flustered. Back in the carriage, the lady knight smirked at Rid. Shouldn't you have asked that girl for her name? He blushed, caught off guard, as she added with an amused look, Let's get back to the mansion while he's sleeping. At the mansion, a personal tutor awaited. It's a pleasure to meet you, she said. My name is Sandra. I'll be teaching you magic starting today. Things are moving quickly, Rid thought, excited for what lay ahead.